All right, now to the Nashville Christmas bombing. Metro Police addressing questions about why they couldn't do more in 2019 after they were told that Anthony Warner might be making bombs in that RV. Julia Palazzo is in downtown Nashville this morning with more on Chief Drake's response to this.
Well, Chief Drake spoke publicly for the first time about that report that was released earlier this week. He says that his officers did not have enough evidence to get a search warrant for the house or Warner's RV. Now, in that report, the officers responded to the home of a suicidal woman in August of 2019. She told officers her boyfriend, Anthony Warner, was building bombs inside of an RV. Police went to the home multiple times and could not make contact. The report was sent to the FBI and no records on Warner were found. Police say they could not find evidence of a crime on scene there at that Antioch home. Drake defended his officers' actions.
I believe the officers did everything they could legally. Maybe we could have followed up more. Hindsight is 2020. But one thing that I think, what I'm sure that I'm going to do, that we don't have a officer on the Joint Terrorism Task Force, which is connected to the FBI.
So Chief Drake says he will be working with the agency closely moving forward, not only to get an officer placed on that team as soon as possible, but to improve communication overall. Reporting live in downtown Nashville, Julia Palazzo, News 2.
That blast sent debris flying for blocks. Still within hours, investigators, including those with Highway Patrol, were able to locate key components that were buried in the rubble there. Take a look. Members of the THP Criminal Investigative Division descended upon that damage with the sole picture of an RV in mind and the goal of figuring out who owned it. Within hours, the team identified what would appear to the untrained eye to be two tiny pieces of melted debris that were covered in dirt. Experts knew a partial VIN number was hiding somewhere there inside.
When you take that piece of information and you couple it with the investigative efforts of Metro and FBI and ATF and all of the other agencies that participated in this investigation, it starts to paint that picture.
The team also specializes in investigating theft, vehicular homicide scenes, and insurance fraud.
The CEO of Camping World is using his connections to help people affected by the bombing. Marcus LEMONIS created the Nashville 30-Day Fund. He made a $500,000 donation to get it going. The goal is to help fund businesses who are hit by the bombing, shattering work for the owners built in this historic heart of downtown. A business owner himself, LEMONIS says the most frustrating part is the lack of support.
Tornado comes through, FEMA shows up. Fire happens, FEMA shows up. COVID happens, the government shows up. A bomb goes off on Christmas morning, they're here by themselves.
The fund providing loans up to $100,000 to small businesses that have been impacted. These loans do not have to be paid back. The Nashville airport continues honoring first responders following the blast. Parking garages at B&A lit red yesterday, honoring the firefighters and emergency operations personnel that showed up that morning and have since. Earlier this week, they were lit blue to honor those 6 police officers who cleared the area.
Works tonight to ring in the new year here in Nashville.